Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and my heart is always warmed when I see these wonderful people across from me from this great organization, Right Out Loud, chatting with Veronica Murphy, the artistic director, and her colleague, Rachael Van Wormer, the associate artistic director. Veronica and Rachael, how you doing?
Wonderful. Thank you for having us.
Yes, so happy to be here again.
Well, listen, you guys always give great content and fun stuff, and you guys have been doing wonderful things for many, many years. We'll start with you, Veronica. How long have you been artistic director at Right Out Loud?
We founded the company in 2007.
Right.
And that's been my job ever since.
Right, exactly. And you do your performances at Signet Theater, or?
We do our regular story concerts at Signet, Old Town Theater.
Right.
And we have other programs that we do all over the county in libraries and schools and other performance venues.
Right, exactly. How long have you been involved with Right Out Loud?
I elbowed my way in, I would say maybe 6 or 7 years ago now. Started off doing odd jobs and begging her for little things I could do here and there, and just never went away. So she eventually made me part of the organization. At
the benefit of Veronica and Walter and everybody else involved in this. Yeah.
Absolutely. She's actually the very first person we paid besides... Well, except for our actors who we always pay.
Sure.
But to do administrative and other things, she's the first person. I have to say also, I met Rachael when she was 15? 16.
Okay.
She had...
It wasn't that long ago.
She had written a play for the Young Playwrights Festival.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Well, what play was that?
It was called Funny.
What was it about?
It was a 3-person play that sort of dissected what it was like to be inside the brain of a teenager trying to fight their way into adulthood. And Veronica was the costumer for that.
Really? And were you acting in this play?
No, I was the playwright. It was my first experience watching a play that I had written be performed and rehearsed and produced.
But could you have played the part?
No. The young woman who played it was incredible, and I was so grateful to have her.
Yeah, that's great. So, Veronica, just real quickly, what's the mission of Right Out Loud?
Well, we inspire a love of literature, and we do that all over the county for all ages. We work with preschool kids, we work with seniors, and we really try to get people excited about story and great literature, modern and classic.
Now, do you go into the schools, or does the schools come to you, or both?
We mostly go into the schools. We have programs where we distribute books to kids. I'm going to let Rachael talk about that. She's also our educational director,
right.
And she really is the one who works hands-on with the teachers and the students.
Right. How many schools do you work with?
It varies from year to year, but between all of our programs, I'd say we probably average between 20 and 35 schools, maybe.
Yeah. And probably more when we count in Kamishibai, which is what we do. Rachael doesn't actually manage that part. My partner, Walter, does. So it's probably close to 100.
Yeah, absolutely. And what grade levels are, Rachael?
The programming that we have goes all the way from kindergarten through high school.
Right.
The programs I oversee are mostly middle school and high school.
Right. Yeah, and broken record here for Susan Clausen, who was one of our stellar PR folks in this field, theater and arts and all that business. And I was just saying it to some folks earlier today from Be Free Studio that Drew ran the world. I would be offering in schools are art and music and play, because every single subject you can teach through it in that aspect. What's LitAlive?
LitAlive is a brand new program that we just started. We are in the midst of, and it's kind of something we've thought about doing for a while, bringing literature into a fully produced theatrical experience beyond just reading. We have versions of that in Poe Fest and Twain Fest, but this one is very specifically focused on two pieces of that are performed by one person. And it was actually Rachael who came to us and said, I would like to do the Yellow Wallpaper live. A few years ago, when we were virtual, we did a video version of the Yellow Wallpaper as part of our Poe Fest festival. That was all just streamed, and we filmed it and then put it out there to the world. But it's a completely different kind of experience having it live, having that woman that is in such trauma right in the room with you.
So what is the Yellow Wallpaper?
The Yellow Wallpaper is a short story written by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, and the story focuses on a younger woman who has been prescribed the rest cure. This was in the late 1890s. And the rest cure was prescribed to women across the board for anything that was female-centered. So it could be postpartum, it could be any kind of depression if you happen to be female suffering from that. And what it was is you were supposed to be in a room alone with absolutely no stimulus whatsoever. So no reading, no writing, no real conversation that wasn't monitored and controlled because you were not supposed to excite yourself. And I think pretty obviously that did not work. That backfired in most cases. And Charlotte Perkins Gilman herself was prescribed this. Thankfully, she was able to move out of it before any real lasting damage happened. But she wrote this in response to her experience going through that.
So were doctors prescribing this to women and saying, you're going to be in the situation, and by the way, there'll be no stimulus, and might as well just be in a cell, in solitary confinement, basically?
Yes. She was prescribed it by a doctor, and
Nice.
she actually received letters from him after she had published it saying that he no longer prescribed it after reading her story. So this story did quite literally save many, many women from this, quote, cure.
And I think it's an important story to tell right now, especially with what's going on in our country and women's agency and ability to make choices for themselves. That's really portrayed pretty terrifyingly in this story.
Yeah. We're chatting with our friends from Write Out Loud, Rachael Van Wormer. She is the Associate Artistic Director for Write Out Loud and the actress in this one actress play, correct?
Correct, yeah, one person.
Yeah, one person, Yellow Wallpaper, and joined by Veronica Murphy, the Artistic Director. When does this take place? Is it going on right now?
It is going on right now. The Yellow Wallpaper actually has a partner piece, Ripples from Walden Pond, which plays on the nights that the Yellow Wallpaper does not.
Okay.
It is an evening with Henry David Thoreau, and it is a one-person play as well, written by Richard Platt. And this is like spending an evening with Henry David Thoreau. We had an audience member last night who said, oh my gosh, for a little while, I really thought this was him. And then I went, no, that's not possible. He is quite a remarkable performer, and it's a really, really beautiful play.
Yeah, and where's it playing?
At 10th Avenue 10th Avenue
Art Center?
Yes, thank you.
No worries. And how do you get tickets?
You can go to our website,
Okay.
writeoutloudsd.com, and you can hit LitAlive, or you can just hit tickets and it will come up. And they're $30, and it's well worth every penny. The audiences have been raving and standing up for both of these performances.
No, it's good. When we come back from break, I want to chat more with you, Rachael, about what about the Yellow Wallpaper drew you to this, okay? Certainly it's probably a very emotional play, to say the least. And I wanted to touch base a little bit on what you're talking about, Veronica, where we are in this world, specifically this country, when it comes to those issues. When we return with Drew Schlosberg, Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Cloudcast Media and Mission Fed Credit Union, doing great things for San Diegans for more than 60 years. We'll be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing great things to San Diegans for more than 60 years. We are with our friends from Right Out Loud. Joining us is Veronica Murphy, the artistic director, and her colleague, Rachael Van Wormer, associate artistic director of Right Out Loud, and the actress in the Yellow Wallpaper, part of LitAlive, that is playing at the 10th Avenue Arts Center. It's in 10th Avenue, San Diego, and that plays. How long is that going on till?
Through the 10th of December.
Oh, through December 10th. Okay, very, very good. What interested you about this? The story, and then coming up with the idea. I want to perform this.
Sure. I was 18 or 19 years old, maybe at the most, attending Grossmont College literature classes at the Grossmont Community College. And my professor, Dr. Holder, at the time, assigned this story as part of our American literature survey. And I was immediately invested and drawn and fascinated and terrified and moved and inspired by it. And this is actually one of the stories that really set me on a course to eventually complete a literature degree, comparative literature degree. But this is one of the stories that made me want to study literature, because I kept hoping that she would assign more homework and more assignments around this story in particular, because I wanted to write more about it.
Interesting.
So that was my first introduction to it. I was gifted this story by this teacher. And it's just been one of those that has always lived in me. I've, come back to it at least every few years to reread it. And fast forward quite some time, once I was working with Right Out Loud and with Veronica and Walter, of course, literature is what Right Out Loud is all about.
Right.
And I saw with the opportunity of PoeFest specifically, because this is sort of a gothic horror story, the genre of it, that maybe that might be an opportunity to bring this story up off the page and into the world. So I think I had actually mentioned it a few years before PoeFest that, it would be great to do something with wallpaper, or maybe the Yellow Wallpaper might be a good reading. But eventually I got up the courage to say, I want to do this, and I want to do it verbatim. I want to stage it verbatim. So it's not adapted. We perform the entire story as Charlotte Perkins Gilman wrote it.
Wow.
And Veronica agreed.
and then here we are. So, and Veronica, you had brought up, of course, there's a lot of interesting things going on in this country, to say the least, certainly directed toward women issues, which I think in some ways has, solidified a lot of people and woken them up in a very positive way, in my opinion, at least, who are maybe sitting on the sidelines and going, if you don't be paying attention to this stuff, some goofiness is going to happen, and already is happening on this. Now, with that, is this a role that you've acted in many plays, but this just takes the life out of you? Is it so emotional for you?
It's interesting. I've been asked that after the show. It's like, How do you come back from it?
Right.
But the truth of the experience of the woman in the story is actually, at the end of the story, she is feeling great.
Right.
She has, cast off all of the things that were oppressing her. She is in control of what she's seeing, of what she's experiencing. Now, of course, is what she's seeing or experiencing, quote, real? That's why the tragedy exists in this story. But as far as her experience is concerned, she is finally free of all these things that have been oppressing her. So in that sense, yes, it is exhausting. Just the act of speaking for an hour can be tiring. The staging that Veronica and I have come up with gets quite physical. So it is tiring, but it's also really just plain fun and exciting and challenging to do every single night. Performing on your own is a very different experience than performing with a scene partner, just because you only have yourself to fall back on and to draw from. So yes, it's tiring, but it's tiring in the absolute best way.
Right. So Veronica, do you act as the director at all?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, so you're getting a bird's eye view. Are you directing the other play as well? Yeah.
Yes.
So you're watching Rachael, and this is what she did on November the 17th. Okay, that's good. Wow, that was a little bit different spin on the 18th. But the 25th, it can't be an exact performance. It's impossible to do that, correct?
Right. It's live theater.
Right. So have things changed at all on how, Rachel's approached it from, I don't mean a 180 degree, but, look at how she did this scene. She did it a little bit differently than she did it the night before, or not.
Well, I would say, the blocking and the staging is pretty set.
Correct.
But for any actor, it's all coming from inside you.
Right.
And so that can change. Does that make a difference for the audience? Probably not. They're getting to see this amazing performance.
Right.
Does that change it for the actor? Well, I know just as an actor, sometimes you come off and just feel, man, that was a great performance.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you go, man, I sort of messed that one part up. But nobody knows those things.
Of course not.
So it's different for the actor, maybe a little, but what the audience experiences, I don't think is that.
And the reason why I bring it up when I've talked to other folks that Susan has brought on here from, Scripps France Theater or, Oceanside Theater Company and so forth. And you ask them, okay, you've been doing this play now for 5 straight weeks or 5 days, whatever the case may be. Are you learning something on the first day that's different than day 3? Yeah, you know what? I wanted to go ahead and I didn't like how I did this on here, so I just adapted things. Do you change much of the stuff that you're doing?
Well, it is every single performance you do learn something new.
Of course.
That's the joy of performing. I think that's why actors in the theater enjoy it, is because we have multiple opportunities to learn more and more and more and more with every performance.
Right.
So it's not so much a conscious, I want to change this or I want to try something different with that. It's being able to live in the experience of the character multiple times just gives you more opportunities to recognize and realize and find deeper understandings and deeper meanings. Sometimes there'll be a line or a section that you never quite feel like you have. And then all of a sudden, the 7th or 12th time you're doing it, you think, oh, that's what it is. I've figured it out that time.
Right, right. Well, listen, I'm going to have to maybe take you up on one of these things and actually go to a play over here. It'll cause Susan Clausen to faint, but I might. Have
You really don't want to miss either one of these.
Yeah, yes, that's right. You'll rue the day that you had me in the audience. I'll be very, discreet back there, and so forth. Any holiday things coming up?
Yes, and I want to talk to you about that, but I want to tell you one thing about this really quickly.
Please.
Ripples from Walden Pond is available to be performed in schools.
Okay.
The high school kids study the Transcendentalists. They study, some of them study Thoreau, civil liberties, that sort of thing. And we do have a 50-minute version of this,
nice.
And it's provided free. So all anyone has to do is contact us through our website and ask for that, and we can take it to any school or library in the
county. Just go to Write Out Loud and then say, hey, I heard, Veronica, you said X, Y, and Z. I want you at Patrick Henry High School tomorrow. Well,
exactly.
I wouldn't have it tomorrow, but I mean, but usually that's what happens, right, in that aspect of it. Any holiday things coming up?
Yes, we have a program coming up on December 12th. It's part of our regular story concert season, and you can buy tickets to that on our website also. It is called Holiday. This year, our story concerts all have just one word. So we had classics and mystery and holiday and romance and all of those coming up. I'm kind of excited about one of the stories we're going to do, and I'm going to have to get my little thing out of my pocket.
No worries over here.
This is a story called Reb Kringle by Nathan Englander. And it is about a Jewish man who plays Santa Claus every year.
Oh, very nice. And that's going to be on what day?
That is the 12th of December.
At Signet, where's it going to be?
It's at Old Town Theater, where Signet Theater performs.
Right.
And it is all holiday stories of the season. Poetry.
Nice.
Multiple voice stories, single voice stories, all read aloud. And it's going to be great fun.
Very, very good. Again, Write Out Loud. Just go back to the website and find that information.
Yes, Write Out Loud SD, like San Diego.
Right. Always a pleasure having you on. And Rachel, good to see you again. Rachel, any final comments about Yellow Wallpaper?
I don't know that there was a time that was ever more pertinent, this story, between the isolation in it, and of course all of us coming out of isolation with COVID, between the ideas of body autonomy for individuals and for women in general. It's amazing that someone can write something that just stays relevant for so long.
That's what makes brilliant writers and playwrights and all that business, that it just sort of does the test of time. Veronica, any final comments?
Well, I just want to say it's always really great fun to be here. And I hope people will check out our website. We have so many educational programs that are provided free to the community. And, of course, a number of things that people can buy tickets for.
Well, always a pleasure having you on. Write Out Loud does great things in the community, has done for many, many years. And if you're in the schools, just a theater lover and so forth, it's worth taking a look at it. Wishing you guys nothing but great success with the upcoming performances and, of course, the holiday season as well, as you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Cloudcast Media and Mission Fed Credit Union. Been doing great things for San Diegans for more than 60 years.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.